Lisa Bloom, thank you so much for coming on Newsnight. Just first of all, if you would, lay out your involvement in this federal case.
Yes, so I'm very proud to represent Dawn Richard. We on her behalf filed a lawsuit some time ago against Sean Combs, which mirrors a lot of the allegations in the criminal case. And I represent a second accuser who is remaining anonymous, so we're calling him John Doe.
The case is supposed to start on the 12th of May. There's been so much media coverage, acres of it. How is it possible to get a fair jury?
Well, it's a good question, and it's a question that's raised in every high-profile trial. You know, I've been practicing law for nearly 40 years. I've also been involved in many, many high-profile cases, and I can tell you that jurors really rise to the occasion. They do take their oath very seriously. They promise to decide the case just based on the evidence.
Mr. Combs's lawyers have accused lawyers of the alleged victims, like yourself, of continuing to broadcast prejudicial statements. Are they right?
No, they're not right. And they're quite hypocritical because Mr. Combs's attorneys have made many, many public statements defending Sean Combs, attacking victims like my clients, saying that they're not credible, saying that Combs is innocent, saying that, the women are just money grubbers. So, they feel free to make all of these comments. Of course, on behalf of my clients, I don't make any comments like that. I do want the justice system to play out. But I think it's important that accusers and their attorneys have the right to speak, just as Mr. Combs' attorneys have the right to speak.
One of your clients is a man, and I wonder whether that provides a different perspective, whether that person's experience of what happened and of the legal process is different from other female victims that you have dealt with and alleged victims over the years.
Yeah, that's an important question because over the years I've represented many people alleging sexual assault, and I would say probably 90% of them are women, but there are a fair number of men who come forward as well. And the issues are sometimes different for them, a different kind of shame and embarrassment and humiliation. And that's true, I think, for my client, John Doe, and that's why he's choosing to remain anonymous. But there are other men who also have made accusations against Sean Combs. From the legal point of view, it really doesn't matter if the accuser is male or female, or if the accused is male or female. The issues are the same.
There has been a lot of talk of a culture shift in the US under President Trump. I wonder what your perspective is on that. Do you see a culture change, if you like, in recent times?
Well, I represented 4 women accusing Donald Trump of sexual assault in sexual misconduct in 2016. I stand by those women and the 20 plus women who came forward against him. There's no question that Donald Trump has also appointed to his cabinet people like Pete Hegseth, who also has been accused of sexual misconduct, and a number of others. It almost seems like something that he sees as a qualification for office. I think it's very disappointing, but I've been doing these cases for almost 40 years. The pendulum swings. And when I talk to juries in my cases, they typically say, I do have a better understanding now. For example, they understand that people don't come forward immediately, that they might continue to work with an accused predator. There's a better understanding of some of the issues around sexual abuse. So overall, I think we are moving forward, but yes, sometimes it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
And I'm sure Donald Trump would deny the characterization that you just provided. I would like to talk to you about Virginia Giuffre. You represented other victims of Jeffrey Epstein. Ms Giuffre very sadly lost her life recently, reportedly to suicide. Do you think she ever saw justice?
You know, I'm so sad about Virginia. I didn't know her. But I did represent 11 Jeffrey Epstein victims, and I represented a witness who was supportive of Virginia's story against Prince Andrew. And suicide is such a common problem for sexual abuse victims. It swirls around, it haunts them, and sometimes they succumb to it. Did she ever get justice? I mean, not really. It's so hard, but she was so brave. And the thing about Virginia is she didn't just stand up for herself. She stood up for all sexual abuse victims. She often spoke out and wrote and did everything she could to support other victims. And my heart breaks for her and for anyone else. I assure you it gets better. There are people who love you. There are many people. I was a sexual abuse victim. I have gone on to have a wonderful life. And if you can just hang on, better times are ahead. And to me, I'm just heartbroken that this happened to Virginia.
And Prince Andrew was seen with the royal family recently in a rare public appearance, obviously one of the people that she accused. He stepped away from public life. Do you think it's right that the royal family welcomes him to events like that?
No, I don't think he should be part of the royal family's public life. I don't. There's that photo of him with Virginia, even though he denies ever meeting her. No, I don't think he should be involved. I think it's a slap in the face to her memory.
When people see the people that they've accused, what does it do?
It's devastating. You know, one of the hardest things about accusing a high profile person is it's hard to escape. Even if you have no connection to them, you know, she's in Australia living her life, but there he is in the news. It's very, very difficult. I've had this experience with many of my clients. When Jeffrey Epstein was arrested, something that they thought they had long put to rest, there he is in the news, and they're crying all night, devastated by even seeing his face. So for Virginia, I'm sure it is very difficult, or it was very difficult for her to have to see him and the royal family seemingly welcoming him back. That had to be very upsetting to her.
Lisa Bloom, thank you so much.